Hey, hello everyone. This is Pritam Shah and welcome to our YouTube channel Cognitive Coders. I hope you guys are doing well, and today we are going to discuss one of the ADF scenarios. Okay, after long days we will discuss one of the ADF scenario. Okay, so this kind of scenarios recently I have implemented. Okay, in one of my project. Okay, so that's why I thought let's discuss on this. And this is this nowadays this could be a important thing. Okay, I could say so. Uh, let's go and let's see in in my industry level also these things I have used. So that's why today I'm going to show you these things. Okay, so in our source folder every day from where we are sourcing the data, the raw data. So every day files used to come in that source folder, and from there we used to get that thing. So it's something like that. This kind of scenarios, you might find some chunk file or some very less size files in the in the in the source in our source directory. Okay, so this all could be uh, less than 1 KB data, something like that. Okay, so this kind of unnecessary file, how you will clean, and how you will clean your workspace, cleaning removing this kind of thing. So today that we will see. Okay, so basically what uh, your daily basis files, whatever data it is coming, it is GBs, MBs data. Okay, yes. Okay, so in byte level size data, if you are not expecting, so that is a junk file for you. So, okay, so they should we should clean this kind of this kind of this kind of junk data. Okay, from the source directory. Okay, so how to do that thing, that we will see today. Okay, let's go ahead. So how to do that thing, we'll implement that logic in the pipeline level. Okay, so suppose you so let's implement one pipeline. Okay, so I'm putting the name junk removal. Okay, something like that. Okay, whatever name you can give, I'm just giving based on my thought. Okay, so first we'll take the metadata activity to get the metadata. So all the earlier also you have seen already this storage link service I have implemented. Based on that datasets also I have created. So if you don't know these things, see, I would recommend you guys can see the previous videos. These are the videos. Okay, so here first 1 to 4, I think 4 5, this first 5 5 6 videos, if you will see, you will able to see how I have implemented this link services for this storage, and how I used to implement the datasets and parameterize the dataset, that you can see from the first 5 6 videos in this playlist. Okay, you can I would request you guys see these things, you will get to understand. Okay, so here I would not able to show you. I will directly use the thing. So here first we need to get the data from this source directory. Okay, so this is the demo container, under that there is a source directory. So this is my junk file, I need to remove this. So how it will be happening? So it is in byte level data. Okay, so something like that. So suppose it is already datasets has been created, as I told. The source file, it is my dataset. It is pointing to the it is pointing to this source directory. You can see demo then source. Okay, like that. So the field is, this would be this will take the child items or whatever under this directory, whatever files would be there, that will be captured. Okay, uh, once it is run. Okay, so now let's run this thing and try to understand how the data is coming. So after this, let it run. Meanwhile, I'll take the for each loop. So for each loop, let's see how it is the output it is coming. So you could see these items are coming under the child items. There is a array, okay, JSON array. What is coming? The name is the file name, then type. So it is file type or something else type. Discrete telling. Okay. So the thing now we'll pass each and every file in the for each loop, and for each and every file the loop will be executed. So for that, what we'll do, we will just take it as a sequel based sequential, so each and at a time one files will get processed. So I will use here the child item. Okay, based on the child items it will operate. Okay, now it's fine. So under this thing, first what we'll do, we will, okay, before that, what we'll do, we will, for storing these file names, we'll use one variable. So why I'm using this, I will tell you later. Okay, so variable, in this variable I'll take file name. Okay, okay, so file name variable I have on the pipeline label I have taken this thing. Okay, now once I'll go to the for each loop. Now here what I will select, I will select I'll take the metadata. I'll take the metadata. So here is the metadata thing. So now uh, sorry, before taking the metadata I'll store this variable. Okay, so yeah, normally we in this metadata get metadata only we can directly take the file names from the for using the for each loop, but still from the for each loop we will whatever file name it is coming, we will store this in a variable also. Okay, why we will store that, I'll 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 tell you later. Okay, variable, sorry, set variable activity will use here. Okay, set variable, we will select this thing. Okay, so what we will select, so basically we will select the for each item dot name. Okay, as we were getting the file names, if I'll go to the output, I can show you. So as a name it is coming, you can see. So this is the thing. Okay, after that, so this is the thing. Okay, so now here what we'll do, using the metadata, so using the metadata for each and every file, we will whatever file name it is coming, using the get metadata activity we will find out the size also. So for this uh, mm, here we can select this file name, and here we will select the for each dot name. Okay, so I can use the from I can use the data from the variable from set variable activity also, but still as it is coming the for each, still for each, from the for each output we can get the data. I'm directly taking it, or you if you want you can select the uh, select this set variable things also. So for now I will the file name using the file name variable also. So I will use these things. Okay, I'm using these things. Okay, so now uh, so this file name and this file name is different, just keep it in mind. Okay, this is file capital N name. Okay, the both variables are different. Okay, and these file names I'm considering it from the data set. It is parameterized data set. Okay, so next here what we'll do, what we'll do so here as argument we will select the size, so that if the file size we will get. Okay, now just we will use the if else activity, if else activity, the if condition basically. the if condition. Here I will put the condition, I will put the condition on the expression level. So so here we will take the name, okay, for each and every file name we will use this, okay. Or here you can use that same variable file name also, okay. Now in the true label, here we'll take, so here first of all we don't need to log this thing. So delete activity basically this once we will click these things, then it will log all this thing where whatever you will delete or not. I for now I don't require, okay. We'll cancel, and here in the dataset level I'll take this file name, okay. This is a very this dataset, it's a parameterized dataset, okay. The till source it is there, source layer. So now in source layer, whatever file name we will pass, we will delete, it will delete that data, okay. So like that. So now what we will do, see here this how these things I have implemented. As I told you, I have already explained in these videos, parameterizing the link sets, you can check from there, okay. So now here in the file name we will pass, you can see the for now if I want to take the name, the file name from the for each loop label, it is not giving me, okay, as it is under the if else, under the for each and under the if else. So that's why I saved it in the file name. I will now use the file name variable, okay. Now it's done, the logging settings, it is also fine right now, user properties, everything is fine, okay. So now just validate, okay, it's fine. Now once I will run this pipeline, it will delete this chunk file, okay. Okay, one thing I just got missed, okay, it will not delete one condition I forgot to put. 1 minute, just let me cancel these things. I forgot to add the conditions. Okay, under this thing, once it is true, then it will delete the thing. So here we need to put the conditions also. So basically conditions we need to put here. Okay, so the file here the thing would be like this. So basically what we need to do, so here we need to access the size. So if I will show you, I already ran it. Let me see if get metadata activity 2, it has run one time, then I can show you, it will show the size also. No, it's not ran properly, so it will give the size, okay. So we need to capture this size, okay. So here we will use this size thing, okay. So get activity output, get metadata 2. So get metadata 2 child items, this would not be the names, okay, this would be size, okay. Like that will not consider dot size, okay, this would be size. Done. So we will just compare this thing, compare these things only, we'll compare these things using this less than equals, okay. There is a function lesser equals, okay. here these things, this will come like this. The metadata activity, whatever it will come from get metadata activity, we'll compare this size. So whatever the size would be the lesser than 200 KB, 200 KB, that would be deleted. Okay, lesser equals to. So this, so once this condition satisfied, it will go to the true level and it will delete the data. Okay, now it is fine. Now we can run it. No, pipeline started. Okay, let's see what it is giving. So now running, still running in progress. You can see get metadata to label each and every file size it is coming. Okay, so after that, if condition is getting executed, now if needs delete, it will delete. One deletion happened. Okay, so this is the thing. So this is the file name for what it is deleted. This is the chunk file name basically. So now if I'll refresh, the chunk file is deleted. So this was the thing how you could implement this logic to delete your chunk files from your source folder or any path. Okay, any path. This kind of logic you can use, and using the ADF you can delete during your runtime, during your any daily pipeline, if you are scheduling for copying the thing, anything for copying your data from this source. After that you can just join this pipeline, this deletion activity or junk removal pipeline. After once it is deleted, every day basis it can check and it can delete the data, or monthly once at a time you can schedule this kind of pipeline to clean up your works source directory. Okay, so like this. I hope you guys have understood. If you have any kinds of doubt, you can you can comment on the video comment section, or if you want any other types of content, you can, that also you can comment. I will try to come up with that content. Uh, okay, and try to give you the understanding. Okay, so guys, one request to you, if you still not subscribe our channel, please subscribe, because I can see every day daily basis you guys are watching our videos, our courses, but still not subscribing, not sharing with your friends. Okay, without your without your support we will not able to grow, as I told you, as every time I'm telling. Okay, so as this is a non-paid initiative, you guys can understand we are giving efforts. I'm giving too much efforts, uh, specify the content, other than making it. Okay, so it is appreciable. So whenever, and it is giving us the content confident also, that whenever you guys are commenting on the video comment section, or you are sharing with your friends. Okay, so please do like, share of our videos, and subscribe our channel if you still not subscribe, for getting the update of upcoming videos. Okay, thank you for watching our video for now.